Hi, it's Louise here. Just wanting to bring a different subject matter to you today, and yeah, I'm wearing the same jacket and the same shirt that I was wearing on a previous recording that I did. And hey, when you've got your favorite clothes, this probably tends to happen a lot. Anyway, don't know why I said that, but hey, there I am. Boop. I'm human, and that's exactly what I want to talk about being human. You know, we're on our journeys, a lot of us, our spiritual journey, our awakening journey of ascension, label it what you will. We're on our path of discovery of who we are. And often that gets a little bit hijacked by, my cat's coming to say hello, it gets hijacked with the fact that we are taught, spoken to, given instructions, read about so many different things about how we should behave and how we shouldn't behave in relation to sorry about that, in relation to being spiritual or being part of a greater community. Now, one thing I want to say is that life doesn't have to be hard. You know, we don't need to go through processes after processes after processes to bring healing and bring understanding and of why certain things keep happening to us. What we need to do is realize that these opportunities, these blocks are opportunities. These hitches, these hurdles are for us to actually navigate through. They're not for us to avoid. They're not for us to resist. They're not for us to integrate and to begin to do a lot of different things to find peace. Because peace comes from within at all times. Whether we are in the most difficult part of our life, whether we're in abject poverty, whether we're in abject abundance, whether we're being asked to stroke the chins of our cats, we should have peace. Peace at all times. Now, I'm going to share a little bit of a real life and very honest and very true scenario. In the last 72 hours, I've been, again, battling with a bit of depression. Does this mean that I am a depressed person? No, I was a depressed person with medicated things, etc., etc. And you'll see that in my other sort of blog journals that I do. But the last 72 hours, I was dealing with depression. It snuck up on me in a way that I had not recognized in a long time. And along with it, it brought its friend called worthlessness, and you're not worthy, etc., etc. You're a failure. Now, all of these things I've dealt with before. I've integrated the sense of failure and the abuse and the this and the that's happened in my life. And I'm like sitting here going, oh my God, yet again, I've got to go through all of this process. And while talking to my lovely wife, Heather, I suddenly realized, and something that I was saying to her, it was actually, hang on, wait a minute. Healing is not a mystery. There's no mystery to what I'm going through. And you can take the word healing and you can put anything in front of it. Abundance is not a mystery. Healing is not a mystery. Success is not a mystery. It's a mindset. It's a way of being. It's looking at where you're at and doing what you're doing. And knowing that you're doing it, because when you come through the other side, you're going to find the answers. In fact, the answers are already with you, which is why you're processing this. And yes, you are processing it. You are going through it. Don't deny it. I don't care what spiritual walk we're on. I don't care what level of wherever you come from, whatever label you want to believe yourself to be, whether you're in a spiritual light worker community, whether you're on an ashram, whether you're on this thing by yourself, whether you've just come out of the church, whether you're in the church, and you're on your journey, you're where you're meant to be for the process of learning what it is that you need to learn. Now, you can say, hang on, whoa, you mean I'm in the middle of this court case, I'm in the middle of this situation at work, I'm having this happen to me, and blah, 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 and the story, and I don't need to make light of it. But really and truly, hear me. Yes, you're right in the most perfect place. Look at my cat. She's sitting there. And she knows as long as she sits there, she's going to get a tickle under her chin. She knows that. She's not irritating me. She's not annoying me. She's just sitting there. Because she knows she's in the most perfect place to get the attention that she wants and she desires. And that's exactly what's happening with you. All right? Wherever you're at, if there is something that's dragging your eyes and getting your attention, and whether or not you feel good about it or bad about it, it's getting your attention for a reason. And sometimes it's not a huge aspect that you need to look at and integrate or go through a resistance training or technique for release. Sometimes it's just acknowledging, okay, what is it? All right, so I'm experiencing depression. Why? What's going on with the lack of the lack of self-worth and the lack of ability to create, and why am I feeling this? Maybe it's because I've let myself get to the point where I feel, oh, I've done this and I've done this and nothing's working. I've done this and I've done this and nobody's clicking on my buttons and saying I love you, or I like this, or I want to purchase this, or I want to book you here, and I'm going through a void at the moment. Or maybe I'm in this void to come to the realization that I need to be here to build myself, to create something more of who I am. Because if I am only defined by you liking something of mine, or by you doing this, or by you doing that, then my definition of who I am is very small. But if I'm defined by myself, by what I know of my truth, by what I allow to come through from my higher self connection, and understand through that, through the teachings that I get, if I know that I'm here to go through something and to understand the techniques and the workings of it, and know that when I break through the opportunities, when I push through the hurdles, they're not really hurdles. The answer is going to come to me. And you can say to me, but Louise, if you don't even know what the answer is, what are you doing talking about it? Because if you knew the answers, you wouldn't have the questions. And if you didn't have the questions, you wouldn't have the learnings. See, the answers are here. The answers are here. They're right here. But to get to there, I have to go through the learnings, which come through the questions, which comes through the processes, which gives me the answer. If I just had the answer, would I value it? I don't think I would value it. But if I've gone through this and I've attained this, then I value it. And this is just a snippet of what I go through, what Heather and I teach, what we share on our blogs and in our on our website. We know the value of gaining the truth for ourselves. And sometimes we will go to others and we will ask for assistance, and we will pay the shekel or pay the money that needs to be paid to obtain the lesson that we need for this moment. Because understand that even in our spiritual life, there is the realization that bills need to be paid, food needs to be eaten, clothes need to be bought and worn. And that in this time and in this currency of world that we live in is the dollar, or whatever it is that you call your money quotient. Yes, the pound, the pence, the rand. It's all finances. And yes, we understand the concept that it's just energy and the universe provides, and what I attract will come to me. Exactly. What is it that you're attracting? What is it you're attracting? Because if you are in the middle of something, just like I've been in the last 72 hours, what is that attraction showing you? What is the big, glaring picture that it's showing you? And that, once you've got that, that's your key to your healing process. You don't have to be healed before that gets fixed. No. It's recognizing what's here. What it is, what am I looking through? What is it that's blocking my view? Why can I not see properly? Oh, hang on, wait a minute. What happens if I acknowledge that there's a hand in front of me and I can actually move the hand and I can actually sort of do this. Then I can actually move it and I can bring it down. A silly example, but that's exactly what I've done. I've realized the depression was there. Why was the depression there? Because the thoughts and the patterns of failure had started to re-enter my thinking. And when that starts to happen, I go through a spiral energy, okay? A downward spiral, which pulls me down and down and down to a blackness, to a void, to an abyss that really is a very unpleasant place to be in. And the longer I stay there, the worse I get, and the more I forget that I can actually rise up, that I can actually come back into the sunlight. And so thankfully for me this time, I was able to see that the depression was the picture, was the block, was the hurdle that was presenting to me the sense of failure, the sense of lack of success, that I'm not good enough, which made me look at it and say, well, why aren't I good enough? I am actually good enough. I'm good enough for you to book a session with me. I'm a very well known channel internationally and locally. I am able to give good readings. These are my attributes. I am uniquely talented. I am a good masseuse. I am a very intuitive and intuitive-led being. I see things. I know things about certain things that happen with people, and I can share that. But unless I get up and I actually believe it of myself, you're not going to believe it. They're not going to believe it. And I'm not going to believe it. So for me, my lesson was to ask myself the questions. Why? Why is this? Why is that? Why? And eventually the answer comes back, and look where the finger's pointing. Okay, you can't see it because I'm looking at the reflection of me in the recorder, but that is pointing back at me. That the finger comes back here. You've heard it said that everything that happens reflects back to us. It's the universe reflecting back. Well, if you are reflecting back at yourself, then ask yourself, why do you keep reflecting the same thing back? When you've integrated and healed and processed and breathed and all the rest of it. And I don't mock that, please hear me. I'm not mocking it, because these are the very things that I do and I teach. Because there are moments where we do need to do aspect integration. There are moments where we do need to do energy healing and soul connection and looking at the body trauma. There are all of these parts of us that we do need to adhere and to acknowledge. But most of the time, when we're in a circumstance, in a situation that seems to be preventing us from going forward, there is a reason for it. And when we find what that reason is, by asking the questions, we can break through it and we can come out the other end. So I hope this has helped you a little bit, and I anticipate putting more of these up as time goes by. And just keep a lookout for them. Thanks for listening. And if you've got any comments, and I ask you to just write them down at on our page here and in the comment section. And again, I just ask that no haters, because I do moderate the statements that come through. And if I feel that there are unnecessary hatred statements coming through or things like that, I do moderate them. I might reply to you privately, but I will not put it up publicly. If I feel that there is a balance in it and that there is a question that other people may ask, then yes, maybe I will do that. But I'm asking for honest and integral responses. So thank you for listening. And I'm Louise, and I look forward to chatting to you again. Bye-bye.